Yo, what's going on, people? And welcome to the Super 6 podcast, episode number 2. Yes, with your boy, Bayo Akinfenwa, a.k.a. The Beast. I'm here with my home girl, Laura Woods, a.k.a. LW. What's going on, B?
Good to see you again. Hey, I thought you nailed that intro.
I know, I was kind of slick with it, you know what I'm saying?
You've been busy this week.
Yeah, a little bit. So have you.
I know.
So have you. How's your week been?
It's been really good. I've been up, down, left, right, everywhere in the country, covering football. It just feels really good to have stuff to talk about. Do you know what I mean? To see
100%,
football again.
100%.
It feels really good to have it all back. What about you?
Yeah, same. I'm still a little bit... It's something missing with me because I'm still a footballer first and foremost, and I'm close but not there yet. And we had our first game of the season and I wasn't able to play, so of course it was bittersweet for me. But other than that, listen, been busy. I've been on the punditry.
Oh, I've noticed.
Yeah.
You know what happens now? Now we are like linked together, right? Because we keep working together. I like this little link. So now I get text messages saying, "Oh, have you seen him?" And I'm like, what? Because I've been working. I'm like, I haven't seen him. What do you mean? My dad texted me and he said, "Who's that on Sky?" And I was like, what do you mean? He sent me a screenshot. It's you. It's just because you're wearing glasses. He didn't recognise you.
Let me say this. I've got to throw this out there. See, I didn't know now, so I must be moving in a different realm because my glasses became a talking point like last week. So on Friday, I did the EFL first game of the season, Watford Middlesbrough. And, because I'm a champ player now, so, I'm going to keep saying that.
Yeah.
So I'm a champ player now, and I figured in the championship, it's a bit of a mature league. That's what I'd be hearing.
Yeah.
So I figured, went on Sky, put my glasses on.
Nice.
Oh, my days. The response. I was getting people that I roll with daily said they had to double take that they couldn't see. Like, they was like, nah, man, that's not you. I was unsure. So now I know how Superman got away with it for so long. You know what I'm saying? Because Clark Kent, as soon as you put on the glasses, all of a sudden you didn't know he was Superman. So I know that feeling now. Shout out the championship Superman.
You're in like you're seeing like you're moving in different realms and different like levels. It's almost like now you're in the championship. You've like they're taking it up a step higher with not just your footballing skills, but also like your ability. What's the word? I can't think of the word. Your intellect.
You know what? Like, I'm not trying to say I wasn't intellectual prior to hitting the championship, but I think the world's just catching up with me now. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm playing into it. So yeah, man, good times, crazy memories.
Irony there that I couldn't think of the word intellect. It took me a while. I was like grasping.
Is, them ones out here because. Listen, I ain't even going to fight because you're LW and I don't want to throw you under the bus and that. But yeah, anyway, no.
You can do it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I love it. Should we have a little chat about what's coming up on the podcast?
100%. Let's do it.
I am looking forward to this. By the way, last week went down really well.
I enjoyed it, yeah.
People, I tell you what, I know that we want to get into what's coming up and stuff like that, but the amount of texts and tweets I got from people saying what you said about racism was brilliant and really opened their eyes. So shout out to you, Bayo, just for the top of that.
Nah, and I got the same back in a sense where you were saying where we need to have these uncomfortable conversations, and I see a hashtag kick off like that sort of thing, and it was good. We just need to have conversations. And just let me say, if people are hearing my voice and it sounds, I'm getting a little bit of a blocked nose, so if I'm sounding a little bit differently, it's because of that and that. But no, you know what? Big up uncomfortable conversations and big up last week.
Absolutely. Right, here's what's coming up on the podcast this week. We're going to serve each other up some hot and spicy questions in Bayo's bucket.
Hey.
Why does it sound sexy?
Wait, LW, see, why did you go, so you changed your tone for that? I ain't even gonna lie, you changed, did anyone else catch that, yeah? She was like, yeah, so, we're gonna serve up something hot and tasty, sweet, finger licking. Well, you can't really say finger licking because of COVID and that, but you see what she did there. Anyway, LW, I see what you're trying to do, but anyway, moving on swiftly.
I can't help it. I don't know why I did it. It's like late night radio, isn't it?
That's what you're trying to do. It's cool. Say that, say less.
Let's have some late night love songs. That's what I want to do when I retire,
You've got it.
I want to go into late night love songs and be like, you know what, this is the menu. We're supposed to be getting through this quickly.
All right, true.
Anyway, that's what's coming up. What else?
What else we got?
Do you want me to do the rest of it as well?
Yeah, no, to be fair, you do it because I was
Yeah,
just
I'll
chilling.
do it,
But we
I'll
got
do it.
6 of the best again.
No, that's fine. 6. Oh, you did it anyway.
Yeah,
There we
I
go.
know.
What is that? It's looking at the best moments, isn't it, from the first weekend of the season?
Yeah, good moments though. Good moments. We did some pre-talks of some good moments. But anyway, we're gone.
We'll do
the
3
menu.
each, yeah? 6 of the best in total. And we'll be discussing this week's Super 6 fixtures, and you can give us your predictions for round 2. We were dreadful in round 1. The money has rolled over, so you can have another chance to play for £1 million. And just remember, it's free to play.
See, with all that to come, make sure you get involved in this conversation on Twitter by using the hashtag Super6Podcast and give us a follow at Super6. So talk to me. Do you see, I know you did an interview with Chelsea and
Yeah.
Lampard and all them new ballers there.
Yeah.
You got a glimpse of them. How was it? How was the vibe?
It was brilliant. They won't let me see anything because when you go to the training ground, because of COVID as well, it's much more controlled. So you're literally only allowed in one little area, which is where you're going to do your interview. But even when there wasn't COVID, they're so careful with the media. You know what it's like around training. You're not allowed to watch training. You're not allowed to go in certain areas. They're very
So let me just
tight-lipped.
pause you there. No, I don't. I'm at Wickham. We don't have that much security and we kind of allow you to see, where you go high society. We don't really get that over here. So I just want to throw that out there. But I get what you mean.
Cobham's like a fortress. It's beautiful as well, and it was a really sunny day. So I basically sat outside on one of the training pitches, not the one that they were on, obviously, and just waited for them to all finish. And it was really interesting. So we interviewed Frank Lampard. He's just always excellent. You know what he's like. I always feel like I learn something when I speak to him. He was talking about all the noise surrounding the new signings and how the pressure's intensifying. This is what all the pundits are saying. He was like, look, the pressure's always been there. It always is going to be there. I get to integrate this team. It's my job to manage them, blah, blah, blah. I also interviewed Mason Mount and I thought it was wicked. I just thought it was really, really down-to-earth guy. Again, really open and honest and saying, look, I actually welcome the competition. I think it's good. I think it's healthy. I want to step up to the plate as well. And he was saying that the new signings at the time, Thiago Silva hadn't even trained with them yet. So obviously he hasn't played, but a lot of people are just coming in. So this team are starting to integrate into each other and learn each other's habits and just get used to each other. But it felt like, just from speaking to those two, it felt like there was a really good vibe around the place. It was good fun, actually.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put you on the spot. How you think Chelsea's going to do?
Top 4.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you said that kind of confidently, yeah?
100%.
All right, cool.
Kepa maybe, they might need to switch goalkeeper, but the window hasn't shut yet. But Frank Lampard actually came out, didn't he, and said he's going to back him, he's his keeper, but...
See, no, I get that, but I actually like that from him. Whatever he says behind closed doors, I think it should be behind closed doors. I think you back your keeper. Once he's your player, back him. And I think for all, Frank looks like he's making the transition from player legend to a good manager, you know what I'm saying, which ain't easy. So salute to him, but not like I want him to do that well.
I know,
I'm a Liverpool
right?
man, but anyway, you get me.
Is there any other position on the pitch where you need confidence instilled in you more than the goalkeeper?
The goalie is the most.
Yeah.
It is the most, and I think they've got to have an understanding that strikers can miss chances, midfielders can miss chances, miss tackles. If you make a mistake as a goalie, it's a goal, period. There's no hiding place. So I feel like they've got to understand that. And you've got to constantly give them confidence. It is what it is. I never understand why keepers want to be keepers. I've said this many times, but it is the one position where I think the mental strength has to be on a whole nother level. So, yeah, man, tough job.
What else have you been up to outside of work? I know you're sounding a little bit under the weather, aren't you?
Yeah. To be fair, I'm going to say I'm pushing myself, but I've been mad busy. It's good because it's not like I've got games to kind of chill for at the moment, so I can kind of go as hard as I want and put as much into the rehab as I want, and then all the outside stuff, which I'm doing a lot of campaigns. So we touched on it last week. I hate being static. I hate being bored. So this side is it. But I saw something, and I was saying this to you, I saw something on social media, and what I do like about you, in the sense where I like how you can flip things and put it on its head. So talk to me. Have you bought an iron?
No!
Have you bought an iron? Because I ain't gonna lie, your shirt was a little bit wrinkly, no?
Right, can I just say something? Okay, listen, you're going to set me off again. Look.
Go on.
So I get texts and tweets and direct messages and stuff like that all the time, and I usually ignore them. For some reason, this one came. I don't know the guy who sent it. It came straight through to my inbox, and it said you need to iron your shirt, and I was like, whoa, that's below the belt. That's below the belt. But it did make me laugh. But the thing is, genuinely, it was ironed. It was ironed.
No, there was a couple creases on the arm.
It was the pleats. And also I was sat in a certain position where I was slightly twisted, but I ironed it. It was a brand new shirt. I sat in my hotel room the night before, like a geek, doing all my homework and ironing.
You know,
and then I went to West Brom in an iron shirt. And then the camera, it was the camera's fault. It wasn't mine.
all right, let me ask you a question, just off topic. It's like, did you see the humorous side of it?
Yeah.
You saw the humorous side.
Yeah, that's why I tweeted it.
So,
Funny, wasn't it?
and I think there's another subject that we will touch on and continue to touch on. And I don't know if we touched on it. So, how do you deal with when you get negative posts?
Oh, yeah.
How do you deal with that?
I think it depends what mood I'm in.
Yeah.
It depends if I'm tired as well. So obviously I work really early when I do the breakfast show, TalkSport. And when I started that, which is nearly 6 months ago now, it's flown by, I was in a much more sensitive place.
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about, confidence, right, in goalkeepers? Confidence for a presenter is the biggest weapon you can have other than your knowledge. So if you don't have those hand in hand, you're in trouble. Basically, you can't have one with the other. In my opinion, that's how I like to work anyway. So when you're not feeling confident, everything else starts to crumble. So even like stuff that you know about, like nothing works. But it's a little bit like putting diesel in a petrol. If you're not putting the right fuel in your body, or you don't feel confident enough, nothing else really works.
Yeah.
So when I first started that job, because I wasn't feeling confident, every little knock became like a proper jab.
Yeah.
It was like winding me. But now I have confidence in what I'm doing, and I have confidence in the way I can deliver things, and I kind of believe in it as well now. Whereas when I started, I think you can tell in your voice. It's almost like when a shark can smell blood. Like, that's the same with trolls. You know, if they think that if you've got a crack, they'll find it.
Yeah.
But now I feel like much better in the position that I'm in. And also I think because the world is moving around a little bit better now as well, because that new job came with COVID and all that sort of stuff. And no sports, that was quite difficult. We didn't know what to talk about. Now that I've like confidence in my own ability, it doesn't affect me as much anymore. And that tweet just made me laugh. That was almost like highlighting the irony of some of the crap that you get from being a woman in sport as well. And let's not get away from it. It is like, sometimes you just think, this again. It'll, like, you know, sexist comments actually don't really affect me because you see them so often. They mean nothing. It's more when somebody like tries to get like a really personal comment. Those are the ones that sometimes annoy me. So that one for me was just funny. That was almost kind of like highlighting it was almost like a clap back to other trolls, not him. It was more like a clap back to like all the crap that you send me. This one's just a basic one about iron, and it was just being ironic. You didn't even get it.
I was I was into what you were saying. So when she finished it, but that was a double entendre. You see that, people? It was a double entendre. I was so into what you were saying. I was like, I'm taking LW in. I'm going to be serious. And then she finished with the ironic. I see what you did there. I say nothing. Salute. All right.
Right, should we get into the first feature?
Yeah, come on in.
It's Bayo's bucket. Last week, Bayo said that if he won £1 million, he would buy a chicken shop.
Yeah.
So it inspired a couple of things, didn't it? You can see the thinking behind these guys.
I see what they're trying to do. I get it. I'm not mad at you. So the Bayo bucket, school me. Talk to me.
Here we go.
What's
This
going on
is it. School me.
Come on now.
So we're going to help you live out your dream today, sort of. In Bayo's bucket, we're basically going to serve up each other some tasty questions taken from Bayo's bucket of fried chicken. There's literally a fried chicken bucket over there. It's got no chicken in it, right?
Wait, they went out, did they buy the bucket with the chicken in it and then just left the empty bucket?
I've got a vision. I reckon they went into the shop and they went, can I have a bucket? But no chicken. And they were like, you can't do that. And they were like, okay, fine, give us chicken. And then they ate all the chicken and then they just bought the bucket in.
But what if you reckon they did like a Mission Impossible? So they sent one person in first to talk to the dude while he was distracted.
Yeah.
My man went and put his hand in to get the cardboard. I want to go with that one.
Wow, do you think that's what...
I think they go above and beyond in Super 6. I'm going with that. Yeah.
Do you know what? I prefer that. So let's
So do I.
In that case, we better make this feature worth it,
cool.
to be honest. They are questions that have been specifically written to be awkward for us to answer. Thanks for that. Cheers, guys. Seeing as it's your bucket, you're going to pick first.
All right, cool.
Right.
Let me go get the bucket.
All right, we'll be back in a minute.
Let me get one. So, all right, first question. Question for Woodsy. Who do you prefer to go on a night out with? Oh, okay. Who would you prefer to go on a night out with? Gary Neville or Jamie Carragher? And why?
Gary Neville. Straight in there.
Yeah?
Yeah, Gary Neville.
Yeah? And why? Tell me why.
Because
Neville's United.
Yeah.
You know that, yeah?
I noticed.
All right, you sure?
Yeah.
And Carragher's Liverpool.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Just get a bit further from me when you're talking.
And that's why. No,
Go on. Why?
In a work capacity, I don't think there's anyone better in the game than Gary Neville. So first of all, my opinion of him is sky high as a pundit. I think he's excellent, and he makes you a better presenter. And what I mean by that is, do you ever play with players that bring your standard up to their standard?
100%.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about Gary Neville. When I work with Gary Neville, I feel like I am like the equivalent in a presenter, and I'm not, obviously, but it's I don't know what it is. He demands it from you. Do you know what I mean? And,
yeah.
And he's so professional, but at the same time, what I like is, I don't like to be too serious in what I do, because I think as a presenter, there's a time and a place for that, obviously, but also you have to have a bit of a personality. And he's brilliant. He's so funny. He's so educated. I mean, you could talk to him about anything. You could talk to him about social change, about politics. Football last, to be honest, is the thing that you want to talk to with Gary Neville. I just find him fascinating, but he's just funny, you know. He makes me, honestly, like, he's just a really good guy to be around.
No, and I get that, like, and it comes off the screen. I'm not gonna lie, it comes off the screen when I see him, and I've seen you two vibe together. But is that because you've already got a preconceived notion of him, so therefore you don't want to let him down, so you just up your game?
Do you know what's really funny, right, is the first time I met him was, I think it was like when we were doing this thing called In Off the Bar or something. I've worked at Sky for 11 years, and it must have been about 6 years later. So every time I'd seen him around, the first time I did a football OB, I was sat in like one of the trucks, and he walked past the truck, and I was terrified of him, because you know about Gary Neville's reputation in the game, like, you know, the organiser, the sort of like the one who, the gobby one, the one who was always like leading the line, not being moody, but as in like not leading the line in footballing terms, but as in like leading the movement.
Yeah.
You know, like if anything happened, Gary would be at the heart of it, or be the mouthpiece for it. And around Sky as well, he just had this aura, and he was, you know, when he first came in, the jump that he made in punditry was huge, and everyone was just like, this is the new blueprint basically for a pundit. Yeah. So he was massively on a pedestal for me. So I was like, right, I can't drop the ball. I can't be that person. So I would do more research. I would work harder. I would make sure that, like, everything, when you're in that zone with him, nothing's distracting you. So yeah, just naturally, you want to be a better professional. But he's hilarious as well. He's funny. He's really cool.
All right, that's cool. All right, G Neville gets it.
Yeah. Do you know what? This is awkward. You're right. These questions are awkward. It's not that I've got a problem with Carragher at all.
It sounds like you do.
I'm
just throwing that out there. Hey, JC, yeah?
No.
It sounds like she does, innit?
No.
I'm just throwing that out there. Like, it does. You're my hitter. You know what I'm saying? Liverpool legend and that.
No.
It's trying to say LW feels like she's got a problem with JC. I'm just throwing that out there. Sorry, over to you. All right, go on.
Genuinely, I've been on nights out with both of them. The Christmas parties are amazing, and those two are like the last standing, always. So yeah, no, there's no problem with Jamie Carragher. It's just that Gary Neville edges it ever so slightly. Jamie just gets drunk quicker and therefore can't communicate. I'm joking, that's not true. Saying, yeah? It's just not true.
That's what she's going with. All right, let's move on swiftly, LW. You get me? All right, you want to go?
I'm picking one for you, yeah?
All right, go on. Dibby, dibby, dabby, dibby, dibby.
That took me a while, didn't it? Right. Question for Bayo. Tell us your worst dressed teammate.
Worst dressed teammate. He actually left us this season, or after the playoffs. It's got to be Sido Jimbati. He's at Oldham now. I remember I first came across him when I think I was at Northampton. He was at Cheltenham, and then I signed for Wickham. He was there, and he is just a bad dresser. Like,
give me an example.
He will rock purple corduroys with green trainers, a checkered, multicoloured shirt with a green emerald blazer with glasses
Wow.
and walk in like he is that guy. That's what I respect about him.
I was going to say.
Because he walks in like he's that guy. You know what I'm saying? But poor is poor. Whack dress sense is a whack dress sense. That's all I'm throwing out there. And the worst thing is, me, I'm not even overly into the style of the style thing, but I just think there's just a standard living and look that you should just kind of kick it with. So sorry, Cedo, like he's my guy, but yeah, it's him, worst dressed easily.
Can I ask you a question? Your manager,
Yeah,
Gareth,
yeah.
what marks do you give in his leather jacket out
Do you
of
know?
10?
Do you know the worst thing is the leather jacket by itself? I actually like a leather jacket, so the leather jacket by itself is up there for me. It's the ensemble that comes with it. it's the shirt where he's got his hamburger chest out there, you know, he's got it open and that, you know, he likes that. Sorry, Gaffer, you're my man, 100 grand, but I got to tell you that. And then he'll have these jeans, and then he'll have these crocodile boot. I'm like, yo, like you have to LIG. You got to let it go, Gaffer. You've got to let it go. So that's just my take. The leather jacket by itself, cool. It's just the rest of. It's just a no-no.
Can I just add a side note, Gareth? I think you're fabulous, and I think your dress sense is exceptional, and I think it suits the sort of spirit that you have.
Yeah. What she said,
Right?
but in reverse.
Right, that is the end of Bayo's bucket, so just put that chicken bucket down there.
Yeah.
There we
Just
go.
put it down. And
Maybe
that.
you should return it to the shop.
Yeah. No, you can't do that.
No?
Nah, Mission
You-
Impossible. They never ever take it back once they take it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
So
too honest.
keep it over here.
Right, feature number 2, it's called 6 of the Best. So we're going to give our ultimate moments from the weekend's action. We're going to do 3 each. Last week we did debuts in football, actually.
Yeah.
So we had mentionable debuts. Not mentionable. We had notable debuts from the likes of Leon Knight. That was one for you. Danny Rose as well. Wayne Rooney. We ended, of course, with Jonathan Woodgate for a pretty dreadful debut.
Yeah.
This week we're going to pick our 6 moments from the first weekend of the season. There were loads of goals and loads of talking points, so we're not short on this. I'll go first with my one, my first of 3. So I went to West Brom this weekend. They played Leicester.
Yeah.
Newly promoted West Brom, obviously a couple of new signings in there, still to get over the mark at that point. So really, I mean, it was all about Leicester, and it was the Jamie Vardy show, scored 2 penalties. Their debutant, actually, considering we were talking about debutants last week, Timothy Castagne, their new wing-back, he scored on his debut, so it was like a big moment for him. But anyway, Vardy scored 2 penalties. He's got this ridiculous record against West Brom, and he's also got a ridiculous record at the Hawthorns. He just loves the goal there. It just always scores there. There was a tweet that went out, and it was like 3 things in life for sure: death, taxes, Jamie Vardy scoring at the Hawthorns. Anyway, scored 2 penalties. And considering there were no fans in there, of course, played behind closed doors, he didn't miss out on the opportunity to run to the fans where they would be in the stands and cup his ears, and just like a proper bit of housery, and I loved it.
Listen, I'm a Jamie Vardy fan.
Oh, I'm a fan of that.
Fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I'm
Really
a
love
fan.
Jamie Vardy.
I do. I love his story. And I swear recently I heard his stat that he scored more goals than Drogba.
Yeah, in 43 less games. Or he's on the same amount of goals in 43 less games.
And Drogba is a legend. Drogba's a legend.
Who's a bigger legend?
That's hard. That's a hard one. Drogba's my guy, but Vardy will be a bigger legend. Just because of his story. And I know Drogba's probably got a story, because we all got stories to tell. But what Vardy, 2005, he was a factory worker. I see that. See, hey, let me just put this out there. Vardy, you're a boss. Yeah? You're a boss. That's coming from beast mode over here. You're a boss. Certified. All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2, I am going to go for Newcastle, right? So my dad's a Geordie. So Newcastle technically is in my blood, even though I'm an Arsenal fan. I always will have a soft spot for the Geordies. Their signings that they made in the window across 2 games. So we're talking Callum Wilson on debut. We're talking Jeff Hendrick on debut. 2-0 win for them against West Ham. I just think Callum Wilson hitting the ground running is what the Geordies need at the moment. In the Carabao Cup, Ryan Fraser, that was his first performance, also scored on debut. So for me, that moment, I think for Callum Wilson, and he could have got a couple more actually, he should have probably got one more at least. It's like I think it's going to be a match made in heaven. The Geordies want a striker. He likes to score goals. He's now in a team where he's getting more service because he was missing that in Bournemouth last season. I don't think it was all his fault that his goal scoring record sort of dropped out. I think he was missing a lot of that service. Brooks was injured for a while, wasn't he? Ryan Fraser's gone there with him, and there's just like a nice little connection. Do you know what else I really liked?
Yeah.
The front two. So, I mean, Steve Bruce afterwards came out and said Andy Carroll starting up front with Callum Wilson. There was an article basically saying that Steve Bruce has defended the fact that he played. You don't have to defend starting Andy Carroll in a game that you win 2-0. It doesn't matter. You started him and it worked. I think people question whether or not he's fit or not, because he's taken a lot of injuries. Last season when he joined, he didn't really play a lot, did he? So I just like to see it. I like to see Newcastle doing well. They've had a tough old time lately with this whole takeover business.
Yeah.
So that was one of my bigger moments too.
So I just even of course I'm gonna have an opinion on this, but as a manager who works with his players day in, day out, if he decides to play whoever he decides, it's on him. I don't understand these people who are not there and they only see him on a game. Oh, why did you play him? The manager sees something, he stands by his decision, and you live and you die by your decision. So, listen, I'm glad. I like Steve Bruce, and like when you win, I don't care what anybody says. Your decision is justified,
validated, isn't it?
100%.
It's done.
100%.
What's my third one? I mean, there's some brilliant ones. I was going to go for Reece James for the goal against Brighton because it was a
goal.
Banger, wasn't
it? Banger.
But it wasn't even the goal that I want to put in there. It was the little bit afterwards where there was like a wide shot, right? The camera replay from behind the goal. And you just saw Kante, as soon as it literally like boomed past his head, and as soon as it went and hit the back of the net, Kante just gave a little applause.
Is that what you like? Yeah,
I just liked it. I like those little details. Do you know what I mean? I just like a little bit of appreciation between teammates, and it was so kind of it was just casual the way he did it. I liked it a lot. But what I want to put in there is Carabao Cup round 2. Bournemouth against Crystal Palace. It goes to penalties after a pretty boring game, 90 minutes of a boring game. And then, it was like 50 penalties each or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
kept going,
it wasn't 50, it was 12. But say no more, 50 sounds better.
Similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you don't tell anyone, they'll think it's 50.
All right, yeah, let's go with 50.
So it was like 50-51 at one point. It's incredible, really. Amazing penalty shootout. Anyway, it gets to Wayne Hennessy, the goalkeeper, steps up opposite Asmir Begovic. He's about to take his penalty. The run-up's massive. And you're thinking, what? Where are you going? Anyway, takes his run up, takes the penalty and literally hits it to the moon. Like skies it so far across the crossbar, up and above, and then reacts afterwards like it was just like minimal. Yeah. Just missed it by a whisker.
Funny. I was there, I watched it, and I was in the studio. Matt Murray said, Matt Murray must have worked with him. So whatever he did, Matt Murray's like, yeah, he's going to go for power, but trust me, he's going to score. So he was like, yeah. So I was like, all right, like, yeah, cool. He stepped back, like you said, like he was going for a goal kick. And I'm talking about hit it like he was missing the ball. And if there was a fan in the crowd, the fan would have been finished. It was that. But listen, anyway, cool. I get that.
The thing is, do you think he forgot? Do you think for a minute you thought he was just taking a goal kick or something? Because it was that far.
It was that far gone. But the worst thing is, I don't even want to talk about it because I missed a couple pens myself. So
fair enough.
I don't want to jump on it. But boy, whatever he was going for, it didn't actually work. So it was one of them ones. All right, so that was your 3.
That's my 3. What's yours?
All right, so I'm a biased Liverpool supporter, just a little bit.
Never heard of that.
So I'm going to go with King Mo, Salah's hat-trick. First game of the season. We needed him. He was the sharpest player on the pitch. Leeds came to Anfield and they was not playing about. They unnerved us. We was nervous. I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous as well. 1-0 up, 1-1, 2-1 up, 2-2, 3-2 up, 3-3. I'm thinking, raw. Leeds weren't playing about, but yeah, Mo Salah come to the rescue. So I'll go with that. Number 2, I always like when like a happy end to a story. So Grealish signed 5-year contract and then goes out. Plays against Burton in a cup.
Yeah, scores a
banger. He ran the show. So that was another good moment. And then, listen, it's always good when captains sign long-term contracts for their team. Part of me, I've said this once already, that part of me didn't want him to sign because I'm a Liverpool supporter, and that's how good he is. He nerves me. But Aubameyang, signing 3 years, like he signed the thing. Like Ian Wright made it. Just sign the damn thing. He signed the thing. So I think they're good moments for the Premier League. Good moments going forward. So they're my three.
Those are good 3 ones. Though.
Yeah, I figured myself. Yeah, you get me.
That didn't make any sense. Those are good 3 ones. I meant those are 3 good ones.
Yeah.
Wow, I turned into Yoda.
Yeah, backwards talking.
Good 3 ones.
3 ones could be there, wee.
So just to recap, my 3 are Jamie Vardy cupping his ears, doing a bit of housery at the Hawthorns at the weekend after a 3-0 win against West Brom. Then I went for Wayne Hennessy stepping up to take a penalty and sending it so far out the ground, like it probably ended up on the south coast somewhere by the beach. Sorry, mate. It was funny though. It did make me laugh. And the other one was a good start for Newcastle in the Premier League, and actually across the Premier League and Carabao Cup, 3 of their new signings all scoring on their debuts.
Yeah, my 3 was Mo Salah's hat-trick at Anfield. We needed him. My second one was Grealish making it the Grealish show after signing a 5-year contract with Villa and scoring a banger. And then my third was, listen, the Premier League always want their best players. Even though part of me didn't want him to sign, was Aubameyang signing 3 years. So that was my 3.
3 excellent choices. Now we're going to do some listener questions. So, this one's actually quite difficult, I think. What 3 things or rules would you change about football to make it better? This is from Lorenzo. Lorenzo, this is hard because
3 things.
3 things. I mean, we could think of one really good one. The interesting rule changes at the moment, I think. So when I was at the Hawthorns this weekend, one of the changes is that the lino doesn't lift his flag at all, even if it's offside. He waits until either the ball's gone out of play or the ball ends up in the back of the net, and then he goes, offside.
What?
Yeah, and he does it because he does it so that there's no confusion between the attacking team and the defending team, because the defending team are waiting for the flag to go up, and if the flag goes up, they're going to stop, aren't they? But last season, it was kind of encouraged not to put your flag up. This season, they're saying, no, don't do it. But it was funny because the first moment at the Hawthorns that happened and someone got caught offside, flag up.
Well, you've got to... wait, what? See, I'm trying to get this. So they're saying that if there's an offside, so somebody runs and he's offside,
yeah,
the lino shouldn't raise his flag. But that's why you hold your offside line to... But that, you can't... Listen.
You wait for the consequences and then VAR will pull it back and say, no, offside.
Listen, VAR plays its role where it needs to play its role. For me, don't tailor the whole game to VAR and keep it functional how we've been. For me, it don't make no sense. And they're just bringing in, like, with all the troubles we had with VAR in the first time it come in. Now I feel they're bringing in other things to have more trouble. Like, but let's get.
They're trying to make it better.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it. So basically, we're changing the rule back, are we? Yeah,
we're changing that rule back, like, to normal. I'll change the rules. Well, personally, I'll take VAR out, if I'm honest.
Would you?
I think goal line technology, perfect, simple, quick, efficient.
Good for Aston Villa.
Yeah. But I would take VAR out personally. I think, look, I get what they're trying to do. I get they're trying to make less mistakes, trying to get the game better. I understand that, you know what I'm saying? But I do think talking points are talking points, and human error is human error. And I think the referee should be there to take abuse and the linesman. So take VAR so we can go back to abusing the referee and the linesman.
I don't know if this is controversial or not, but just as a change, I might scrap third kits because I just think they're unnecessary. It's another expense if you've got kids. Surely all your kids are like, get me a third kit, get me this kit.
No. When you I've got 5 kids. They need one kit each.
So this is what I mean. So remove the temptation, right? What's the point in having a third kit?
What do you mean temptation? I am the adult. No is no. I'm just throwing that out there.
Is this how you parent?
Yes. What?
Really?
What?
I had no idea.
Oh, no is no.
Pushover.
No. I talk a big game. Especially with my girls.
I was going to say, if one of your little girls says, look, Dad, that Manchester United, that third kit.
Yeah, never. Manchester United, never.
What did you think of that, by the way? You see it, the stripy one.
Yeah, not a fan of it. To be fair, I'm not. I think every year kits just get bolder, crazier. So I'm a traditional brother. You know, I like old school. Just keep it functional.
I've got one for you actually, in terms of like things that you might want to change. What about FIFA ratings?
Oh, all right. So I like how you did that. I like how you led on to that.
Yeah.
My FIFA rating just came out. I don't want to toot my own horn, but 12 years strongest footballer in the world, universe, galaxy. If Thanos came, I'd be able to take him down in that. Just throwing that out there. So, but yeah, listen, it's getting touchy. It's getting touchy with the whole. What's your take as a presenter? So, I'm sure you've done segments where you've given people their FIFA score. What's your take on it, on how players take towards their overall rating?
FIFA have nailed the PR stakes in this. So basically, you know what's going to happen. FIFA aren't going to give you an excellent card because you're going to go, yeah, no, thanks very much, I'm brilliant. But if they undermark you on any of these individual things that you're like, hold on a minute, my pace is better than that, or I'm in this, then obviously you're going to be all over on social media. Lukaku's fallen foul to that.
Yeah,
it's a brilliant PR move. That's what they want. That's why they do it.
I didn't think of it like that. And it's funny because somebody said, does it mean a lot to you? And I guess, and you're always a kid. Even when you're an adult, you're always a kid. So you can always remember playing the game when you're a kid. So as you get older, you still want that kind of validation from the game. That's FIFA it is. It's the pinnacle game, innit? It's what it is. So when you don't get the marks that you feel like, but it hurts because you're like, well, no, man, you're disrespecting me. You know what I'm saying? Like, ever try and give me under 97 strength, you're disrespecting me. This is what I'm letting them know. So Lukaku did not hold back. And that was real. But I felt the pain through his text. I felt the anger through his tweet. Like, but it means that people keep saying boys and their toys and that. Like, FIFA is... like it means some stuff. So when you undervalue us, it's a problem. And that's where people keep saying, who's sitting there and making these marks and that? Like, hey, you been watching my games? Like, so nah, man. Would I change it? Yeah, some. But at the end of the day, listen, I'm old enough now to take it for what it is. I take it for a bit of fun. As long as they never take away my title, all the rest I'm good with.
And look, it's got us talking again about it, hasn't it?
They're good,
We're doing
man.
it again. We're doing it again.
Good what they do, man.
All right, if you want to get involved and send questions our way, you can follow us on Twitter at Super6 using the hashtag Super6Podcast. So now we're at the business end. It's time for our Super 6 score predictions for round one. If you don't know yet how to play, have a listen to this. Download the Super 6 app, create an account and play for free by predicting the scores of 6 chosen matches to be in with a chance to win £1 million this week. And remember, it is free to play. £1 million.
1 million.
1 million. There was no winner last week, actually, so the prize is still £1 million. Simon Tucker managed to score 27 points. That's 5 correct scores and 1 correct result as well. He bagged him £5,000. That's a consolation prize, and an extra £1,000 for getting 5 correct scores, so not bad for a day's work. The only game Simon got wrong was Crystal Palace v Southampton. He predicted 2-1 and it finished 1-0 at Zaha. Good cross actually from Andros Townsend as well in that one. 2 players actually managed to get 27 points, but Simon had the closest golden goal. He predicted it to be scored in the 6th minute, and it was scored in the 13th, so he wins the consolation prize. That's how that works. We also have our Super 6 League. Trevor Cottenden is currently leading on 19 points after the first round. Congratulations, Trev. Feel free to join the league if you want. You can use the code KHN3GV. Also, you can invite your friends to join Super 6, and if any of your mates that you invite go on to win the jackpot, you, just by inviting them, win £25,000. Anyway, Bayo, how did you get on last week?
Yeah. I thought a steady start. You know what I'm saying? 14 minus 10. That was my score.
Listen, I'm not going to have a go at you because I was always 4.
Yeah, no, we 4-4. It's like we're doing things together. What's
I know,
going on?
It's quite sweet, isn't it?
Yeah,
We're both being rubbish in tandem.
Yeah. Rubbish is a strong word. Let's say slow starters.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? But quick thing. So if Simon had predicted 1-0,
yeah,
he would have won the milli.
Yeah, I know.
Oh!
He was 2 goals off winning £1 million.
Oh!
Simon.
Jeez.
Sorry, Simon, mate.
Simon could have bought me something.
I know.
Anyway, Si.
Anyway, next week.
Next
We've got loads more weeks to play, to be fair. Right, last week we talked about what we'd buy ourselves for £1 million. Bayo said a chicken shop and a Lamborghini. And I said I'd buy a load of dogs. A dog's home, to be specific.
Yeah, you did. I know. I found out about you last week.
What?
That you was a dog lover. And
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm a softie.
All right, so I'm going to fire it to you. So let's flip it. So if you had a Billy, what would you buy me? And then I would think what I would buy you.
I would buy you the biggest gym known to man to continue working on your strength for your FIFA.
So what would you buy me?
The biggest gym known to man.
Oh.
So you can just keep pumping up those muscles, keep working on your fitness, keep strong, and so you don't lose that ultimate strength.
I can take that both ways, though. I can take it that you feel like I need to fix up a little bit more. But you want to go on it that...
No, I want it to be like, I just want you to have luxury facilities.
You know what? I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the head. I think I would buy you the Bachelorette mansion. Yes. And the whole production crew to it. And then I'll have like 12 bachelors come and then try and pit for your love. That's what I would buy you. Because you my people, them. I got to make sure you're happy. So that's what I get. That's what I got for you. Bam.
I love that so much.
I got you.
I want you to do that. But you know, I'm so fussy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So you get to pick and we'll get to put them through and I'll sit there and I'll be one of the co-hosts with you. And I'll be like, so, LW. And this dude here, his name is Charlie. Yeah. So Charlie, where would you take LW out on the first date?
Charlie, what are your intentions?
Exactly. And then he'll come with the bar and you'll be like, nah, Charlie, LIG it. So we have to let him go. So that's what I'd do if I had the millie. So
hey, that's another show, isn't it?
Come on, you already know.
All right, sign me up. Okay, we're going to do our predictions now. For round one, like I just said, we didn't get on too well. For round two, we're going to go through them now. So these are our Super 6 predictions. Leeds v Fulham, 2 promoted teams, Bayo.
Yeah. I'm going Leeds win. I think Leeds are going to win 3-1 off the confidence, of the momentum at Anfield, and then they're back at Ellen Road. I'm going to say 3-1 Leeds.
Right, just enough time for one more listener question. I quite like this one. Are or have there been any positive aspects to sport for taking a break in the past 3 to 6 months and that could continue should normality return? So basically, once everything goes back to normality, is there anything that you would take out of the last 3 to 6 months that we've learned in these kind of like COVID times?
Yeah, listen, I feel that it showed the appreciation of sports, the inclusiveness of being together. That's what I've loved. I love that because we've had so much time on our hands, we've talked more. And I think talking is always the first and foremost step that you need to take. I love the fact that I feel sport has an aspect in the world where it brings us all together. It's a focal point. So even when you're talking about the kneeling down, I think that's a beautiful thing. I think we need to continue to do that in the sense where it literally just, again, promotes unity, it promotes conversation. So that's what I've taken from the 3 to 6 months of sports being away, and now it's coming back. And then of course it's just that excitement, that positive energy, which I believe we all need. So that's what I've taken for the sports being away, and now it's back. So man, long may it continue, long may we stay unified, and long may we continue to try and be and do better.
We'll listen to his podcast in like 20 years time, and we'll be looking back on this time when COVID was happening with disbelief that any of this football in general, sport in general, managed to even get back started. And then eventually when we get the fans back in as well, that's what I keep thinking about. I just keep envisaging, like, I go to these games, Bayo, and I know I'm privileged to go there, I know that. And I sit in these empty stands and I watch these football games and I lose track of time. The players come out and I'm like, what are you lot doing? And then I'm like, oh, it's like kickoff is in 2 minutes. You can't feel anything. You can't feel any anticipation. And, you know, normally at a game, I know exactly what time it is because I can tell with the fans as they start filling up. I can tell from like the atmosphere builds. I don't have to look at my watch to see what time it is and that kickoff's happening. Now they wander out onto the pitch and you think they're lost for a second and they look like they're lost, you know. They go, they start, they play. You know what it's like. It misses its heart, doesn't it?
Exactly. And you know what for me shows is the power of energy. And I feel, you know, when people use the word energy, some people are confused with it, but when you go into a football team, or sorry, a football club or football game, you feel the energy. Like, it's just, be it whatever the excitement, the players know, in the sense where, say if they're holding on to 1-0 or they're trying to get back in, you can feel the energy, you can feel the anticipation, you can feel the nervousness. It's that energy which you miss. And that's the thing where, I won't say it's soulless, because the players are still out there, the staff still out there, but there is something missing. There is the soul that is missing. And that, I'm with you, when we can get the fans back in, it's going to be a beautiful thing.
It's going to be amazing, isn't it? Okay, there you go. If you want to get involved and send a question our way, follow us on Twitter. It's @Super6, and you can use the hashtag Super6Podcast as well. That is it for another week. I can't believe that's week number 2.
That's week number 2.
Bing.
I know, man.
Done.
I'm loving this, man. I'm loving this. I'm not going to lie.
Thank you for everyone that's listening and everyone that is tweeting us as well. We see you, actually, and we are grateful that you're listening. You can get involved as well. You can like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date with Super 6. Every time something comes out, you get a little notification. Bing. You can join the conversation, like I say, on Twitter, hashtag Super6Podcast. Follow us @Super6. We're going to be back next week with more fixtures, more things to chat about. We'll probably be off topic a little bit more as well, Bayo.
That's what we got to do, man. Come on now. We're rebels with a cause.
Pleasure. See you later.
Peace and love.